Alright, so that last part was, very short. Now we got a very long one, which means I'm probably going to split this into multiple parts because it's already late. Still can't believe that the IS-7 incident was Gregory's last case. Well, that's been 18 long years since. A murder at a confectionery contest, and one of the participants, no less, Artie Frost. They pulled his body out of a treasure chest that was part of Samson Tangaroa's chocolate tableau. Actually, no, this does look like it takes like an hour and a half, yeah. This doesn't seem like it's, yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, no. It looks like it takes about an hour. This part doesn't look like it's going to be too long. It might be long if I dick around. But actually, yeah, I might be able to finish this part tonight. Okay. He'd been hit in the head with a large rock salt lamp and subsequently bled to death. We found the lamp hidden inside the candy castle delicious scone it made for the contest. But then, before anyone else had the chance to investigate Mr. Frost's own room, all of his icy creations had melted clean away. 18 years ago. December 24th, 9:05 p.m. Contest venue, fountain room. All of Mr. Frost's work destroyed. Mr. Von Karma wasn't very happy. Told us to get out, and in no uncertain terms. So what do we do now, Mr. E? Can't believe you just up and kicked us out. Von Karma's a total jerk. Now, Eddie, I was always told the job of the police in the prosecutor's office is to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, but he didn't have to talk to us like that. Who cares if we're cops or attorneys? We should all be working together to find the truth. Can't assume that everybody's aims are the same as your own. You may wish to expose the truth, but others might prefer to accept things at face value. Which way of thinking is right will depend on the person. What if somebody innocent ends up behind bars because no one managed to uncover the truth? It can happen. We're all human, police and prosecutors included. Which is why defense attorneys exist. Our job is to help people in such situations, to be friends to the friendless. Friends to the friendless. Now, we may not be able to investigate the Winter Wing as hoped, but that doesn't mean we give up. You're right, Mr. E, I'm sorry. Should have thought more before I opened my big mouth. You're young, Eddie. You'll learn soon enough. I will, I promise. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you both look like you'd use a little pick-me-up. I'm afraid this is all I have, but please, by all means. Whoa, you're the best, Miss Bound! Tangaroa's favorite handmade by Bound, rather misshapen and incredibly sweet. Thank you. A little sugary boost might actually help, though these are a little too sweet for my liking. And a little uniquely shaped. I'm sorry if they're not to your taste. No way, they're great! They're so sweet! You're very kind. Aw, yeah. Imagine me, of all people, a mediocre confectioner. What? You mean you made these yourself? Yeah, Samson loves chocolate, so I had to learn. Keep him supplied with his favorite treats is just one of my many duties. Although he does spend most of the time coaching me on how to improve my technique. Mr. Tangaroa sure is a lucky guy. Getting to eat homemade sweets made by the one and only Judy Bound whenever he wants sounds amazing. I'm sorry, did you say something? Nope, nothing at all. Dear sweet Eddie, you really do have a lot to learn. Seems you're quite committed to the work you do for Mr. Tangaroa, Miss Bound. Of course. What right would I have to stay here otherwise? What do you mean by that? I was abandoned as a baby. Mr. Tangaroa took me in. That's right. One snowy Christmas Eve, many years ago, he found me on the steps of this very mansion. He saved my life, and became the father I never had. I can never repay him. So my work for him is the least I can do, and I'll be here for him as long as he needs me. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I must be getting old. I'm welling up a little myself. I think that today is Christmas Eve, and I can't even give him his presents in person. I'd do anything to save him. Anything. Please, if there's something I could do to help, just say it. We're very grateful, Miss Bound. Perhaps you could help us by answering a question. Did you know the victim? Not very well, I'm afraid. Oh, but if you want to see some of his work, I have a picture of the sculptures he made for the final. My, they're stunning. Aren't they? They think they're masterpieces. Who would have thought you could make such intricate statues out of flavored ice? Samson adored them too. Oh hey, that's Taurus and Gemini, right? Didn't know you were keen on constellations and the zodiac, Eddie. Oh, I love it. The stories those stars can tell. Take Gemini, for example. See the lyre? That's what that harp is called. And the arrow and the... Hold up, the lyre doesn't have any strings. Huh, did Mr. Frost forget to add them, maybe? That doesn't sound like something he'd forget to do. Wait, really? But I thought you just said you didn't know him very well. Oh, well, he didn't seem like the type. I think she's got something to hide, too. You took this photograph yourself, Miss Bound. Yes, I used this instant camera here. Develops the pictures as soon as you take them. It's so useful. Oh, I'd love to see that in action. Then why don't I take your picture? Yes, come on, Mr. E, let's get a shot of the both of us. Well, alright then. It'd be a shame to waste a good hair day. Ready? Say cheese! There, all done. And the picture's yours to keep, Mr. Fender. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's such a cool camera. Well, it's the only one we've got, so we use it for all our picture-taking needs. It's very convenient, but the lack of negatives is something of a shame. So there aren't any negatives for us to reference, huh? I assume Mr. Tangaroa used the same camera during the contest. Yes, you assume correctly. He used it for some work-in-progress pictures of his seascape, and later to take some photos of the other contestants' works. But didn't you take a picture of the body when you discovered it? And didn't you discover the body while judging was still underway? Ah yes, Samson wanted pictures of all the entrants' completed rooms. But the film ran out just as he finished photographing Mr. Gusto's work. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left than there were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected. Yes, the number of shots he took didn't line up with the number of shots remaining. But he thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. But had he really, though? I went to our living area to change the film and was passing the fountain room on my way back when I heard the sound of something break and collapse in Samson's room. Crunch. Samson, are you in here? Ah! Ah! Woo! Mr. Frost's body was just lying there. I was in total shock. It was all too much. But I remember, I called the police and then I went to tell everybody else. And the camera, it's been with me ever since. I see. I'd be grateful if you could lend us the camera in this picture, Miss Bound. Of course, here you go. Thank you. Takes photos that develop instantly. A new film cartridge has 20 exposures, but there are only 3 remaining. Photo of the Frost sculptures, taken by Judy Bound. Detective Bad, Miss Scone, are they done investigating? They're done with me, that's for certain. That big old meanie told me to clear off. Honestly, that mannequin's will be the end of me. That cheek of him. Guess he got tired of people cluttering up his crime scene. Did he run you off too, Detective Bad? Yeah. Von Karma seems to think I'm a nuisance. Can't do things his way with me around. Mr. Von Karma goes as far as to exclude our own lead detective. Still, got a pretty good look at the scene. As for Gusto, he's enjoying a nice little chat right now in Frost's room. What about? About the fact that Miss Bound She said she saw him going in there during the contest. Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room. That's right. I have to say, he looked very much like he didn't want to be seen. I don't know what he could have been up to. Well, he's a candidate number 1 at the moment. As the guy who melted Frost's work. But is that really what Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room for? Got a photo of the room right here. If you need it, it's all yours. Wait, what? Why would you just give it to us? This Von Karma fucking sucks, dude. So I gotta spell it out for you, kid. I'm offering you to help you guys. I want the truth about this case to come out. Detective. Really, Detective Bad? Mr. Von Karma won't be happy about this. Good. Yeah, well, I'm not Von Karma's stooge. If he's gonna stonewall my investigation, then I'm not gonna play by the book either. Can't let some pesky rules keep me from finding out the truth. Now can I, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed. Thank you, Detective Bad. Wow. Can't believe you won him over, Mr. E. Well, I haven't foggiest what you're all going on about, but here's to new friends, eh? It's definitely nice to have the good detective on our side, that's for sure. Alright, let's take a look at that photograph. Here. Stab Von Karma, yeah. This is what Frost's room looks like right now. Yikes, there's nothing left of his flavored ice sculptures but puddles. The floor appears to be completely covered in a pale blue liquid. Should compare this photo with the one I just borrowed from Miss Bound. Ugh. I assume that the unplugged power cord has something to do with all this. Yeah, once that was out of the socket, the display cases lost power, and up the temperature went. Looks like they were all connected to the same power strip. Do you have any idea when it was unplugged? Nope. Still working on that. Those sculptures were beautiful. What a waste. I could say that again. Should have taken a few more bites out of them while I had the chance. So they tasted good? Did they ever? Never tasted ice so scrumptious in all my life. Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. The salty bit? What's in the other photo you've got there? This bit. The harpy thing. Uh-oh. Circle on screen. Where's Goku? Gemini's lyre. Wait, that's why it had no strings? Because you ate them? I didn't eat that much, you cheeky little devil. I told you, it was all horrible and salty. Frost sculptures were scrumptious, except for the lyre, which was salty. It's interesting that only one particular part of this particular sculpture tasted different from the rest. And could somebody other than Miss Scone really be responsible for eating the rest of the strings? Did you notice anything else, Miss Scone? Come to think of it, I did. It's a funny little mark on Chillywinks' work. It was 2 little letters. Let me see if I could draw it out for you. Here we go. Yes, it looked just like that. It's almost like a signature or something. Wait. I just knew Mr. Frost wouldn't have made that harp without strings. He's not the type to skip an important detail like that. Hope you don't mind me asking, Miss Bound, but are you certain you don't know Mr. Frost particularly well? What? No, I barely know him, I swear. Is that so? Certainly seem to have some strong opinions about his attitude towards his work. No, the sculptures were so carefully made. I didn't think he missed something so important. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. You have a more personal connection to his work than that. What makes you say that? I have an item of evidence that appears to have been one of Mr. Frost's possessions. And it shares a key feature with another piece of evidence. Well, I won't know what you're talking about if you don't share. So what are these 2 pieces of evidence of yours? Which 2 items point to Mr. Frost? This is the first.
Take that!
And now the second. Wait.
Take that!
Like between these 2 pieces of evidence reveal a shocking truth. Really? Not sure what I'm seeing this link, Mr. E. Yeah, that wasn't right. Miss Bound is especially fond of one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered. I should suppose you should take another look at them all, I suppose. Now then. looking for?
Take that!
Oh, maybe it's this in the photo.
Take that!
No. Huh? What am I looking for here? Dorito? No. I'm not looking for Doritos.
Take that! Take that!
What am I supposed to look at here? I have to skip an important detail like that. Oh! The teapot. The teapot has his initials at the bottom.
Take that! Take that!
There we go. I forgot about that. I looked at the teapot. That's why he said look at the evidence more carefully. Because the thing was on the bottom. Miss Scone found 2 letters carved into Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. I think they were a signature of sorts. After all, it's not unusual for an artist to initial their work. I guess not. That's right, dear. It's just like you said. Chillywinks' statues have the letters PH carved into them, plain as day. PH. Shouldn't it be AF? Like this is lit AF? You'd think so, but take a look at this. It's the seal we found at the crime scene. Seems unreasonable to assume that it fell from Mr. Frost's pocket. When pressed into the surface of an item, it would leave behind the letters PH. The same pottery mark we see imprinted on the bottom of the items in the tea set. The same pottery mark? We've already established that the tea set is the work of the sculptor, Paul Halik. From that, we can assume that these are the same letters would mark any item out as a piece of his work. In fact, a fact of which you're all aware, correct, Miss Bound? Well, yes, I know that he always marks his work with his initials like that. He's never revealed his true identity in public, so it's the only way to know his works are truly his. You mean, Paul Halik was... That's right, Detective. Artie Frost had another identity. He was no ordinary confectioner, at least, as far as Miss Bound was concerned. You see, Mr. Frost was, in fact, a famed sculptor. None other than the famed sculptor. Artie Frost. Mr. Frost was, in fact, none other than the famed sculptor, Paul Halik. What? Mr. Frost and Paul Halik were the same person? But it's not like the mark's hard to copy, though. Anyone who's seen it could fake being him with it. Not exactly conclusive proof that Miss Frost was who you say he was. It was proof enough for Miss Bound. What matters is that she believed it. His true identity will have to be investigated by the good people of the precinct. Alright, I'll the boys look into it. Should have known I couldn't hide it from you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you admit it, you were aware of who Mr. Frost really was. I was. When I discovered his body, I saw the seal you found. Don't ask me how, but I just knew straight away that he was my dear Paul Halik. Imagine, his entries in a confectionery contest were his final legacy. A great man like that. And be honest, did you enter Mr. Frost's room at any point? What? Why are you asking me? A photograph of Mr. Frost's room. I'd like to know when it was taken. Oh, it must have gotten mixed up with the one Samson took during the judging.
Objection!
I'm afraid that I find that rather hard to believe. You said yourself that the camera ran out of film during the judging. And that you had to change, that you've had to... What? That you've had charge of the camera since before Mr. Tangaroa had the chance to visit Mr. Frost's room. That's how you were able to take that picture when you discovered Mr. Frost's body. I suppose so. It suggests that you took only 2 pictures with the new film. One of Mr. Frost's body and one of his room. But I have a piece of evidence that says otherwise. You do? Which piece of evidence contradicts the assumption that Miss Bound only took 2 photos?
Take that!
The camera itself. The camera? You gave the picture of the body to the police and the picture of Mr. Frost's room to me. Oh, and you gave us that picture you took of me and Mr. Edgeworth, too. 3 photographs in total, and yet the film cartridge in this camera only has 3 exposures remaining, out of a total of 20. You took more pictures, and I want to know what of. I'll need to see all the photos you took. Perhaps then we'll finally learn what you were really up to. I'm sorry. I confess, I've been lying to you. Huh. These are all shots of Frost's room. I'm so sorry. Looks like she took pictures of his work from every possible angle. And when they were taken, the ice still hadn't melted yet. Wait, don't tell me. It was you. It was. At least I'm pretty sure it was. You are? Why? Well, you see, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Halik's work, as you know. I was petrified that they might be ruined, what with the investigation that was going on and everything. So I thought I should at least capture the sculptures on film for posterity. And how did you make them melt? How did that make them melt? I think perhaps I was so intent on getting the perfect photographs that I might have tripped over the power cord without noticing. By mistake, are you sure? I didn't notice at the time, but, well, how could I have been so careless as to cause the loss of his final masterpieces? That seems a little convenient to me. I'm not sure I believe it. But I'm not in a position to refute it either. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Please, don't worry about it. The important thing is that you told us the truth. What he said. No hard feelings, Miss Bound. Thank you. Mr. Edgeworth, picture's yours. Hope it helps. 2 photos, one from Bound, one from Detective Bad. You infernal nuisance is still here. You don't know when to give up. Linger for as long as you like. The answer is still the same. You are not part of this investigation. Whether we're part of it or not, we'll uncover the truth nonetheless. It seems you don't know when to shut up either, but I commend you on your stubbornness. Doesn't look like much is different outside the statues just not being there anymore, and the plug being unplugged. Mr. Von Karma, I'm afraid I'm the one responsible for Mr. Frost's work melting. What? What is the meaning of this? I'm so sorry, and to you, Mr. Gusto. No concern of mine. This is Delta's 5th raid. Wait, who? I got 3 raids tonight. One from Neat Dreams, one from Derek Bittner, and one from Redbow Rose. Delta talks in 3rd person. Oh, you're Delta. Okay. Delta was from Bitnerd. Okay. Cool. Well, I actually said Bitnerd, and the captions actually picked it up as me saying his actual last name. I didn't do anything, and Mr. Von Karma agrees. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto? You went to Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why. Sure, I was... Silence, you're not to give the attorney even the tiniest shred of information. Duty bound, you're coming with me. I have reason to believe that you're an accomplice of the accused, Samson Tangaroa. No, I'll be interrogating you personally, so you had better get your story in order. I understand. Wait, please, I'm not done questioning her myself. And you think I care because... Ugh. Bad, Gusto, and you, Scone? I have questions for all of you, and I expect answers. Fine by me. Fine by me. Fine. Well, you could at least ask nicely, mannequins. That's wrong voice again. Took literally everyone with them. Indeed. Well, I suppose that means there's little point in us hanging around either. Perhaps it's time we got going anyway. It's rather late. Hope the snow has let up. You're right, home time. Same, Fender, same. Guess my stomach's in agreement too. Alright, let's go grab a burger. Before my own stomach starts grumbling too. Sounds good to me. Let's eat up and rest. We'll need to be fighting fit for tomorrow. We will indeed. And our first port of call will be Mr. Tangaroa. Tangaroba. Oh, that was another to be continued. God damn. All right. Sure. Why not? Let's keep going then.